All right, we finally should be live. That's good. Just gonna wait a few minutes for people to join. Hey, Hino, welcome. If you wanna vote, you can now start voting. The poll wasn't up yet by the time you entered your answer. So I guess we're gonna start right now. And the topic we're gonna look into today is gonna be single raised pot, out of position, 100 big blinds, cutoff versus button. After we check on the flop and face a bet from the button. You can see here simulation in the Monker solver. And here is the chart of all the relevant buckets that we're gonna have on this board and how they play. So I excluded set with the flush draw and set with straight draw from the practice tool, like because they basically check raise every single time. You can see the red one is for raising, and the other ones are pretty mixed, so it's gonna be interesting to dive into those. So we're gonna have here wait, where's the set with no backup? Let me check that one. What happened to this one? Maybe I should add this one and see how it plays. So I'm gonna add set. One moment. Here it is. Yeah. So you can see set is pretty mixed, so we want to keep set in. And now we do have that opportunity. Just a moment. Let's head into the training section. And here we're gonna exclude set with the flush draw and set with the straight draw, and we're gonna keep all the rest. One moment. Actually, gonna relaunch the chart. The There we go. Training. Again, removing the set with flush draw and straight draw. Start training. There we go. These are our hands. Hey Infinito, welcome. You are right in time as we just started. I see there are some new faces here, so I'm gonna repeat today's topic. We're gonna jump into a single raise spot, out of position, cutoff versus button within 100 big blinds, after we check on the flop and face a half pot size bet by the button. Let's start with the first hand. So we're gonna have, if you wanna vote, by the way, you have to type right the full answer. So if you wanna check, you type check, call for call, and raise for raise, obviously. So let's see how over pairs play in general. First of all, so over pairs with the flush draw, gonna call most of the time, and some of them are going to raise. Let's take a look at what kind of over pairs want to raise it here. I guess they have a ton of backup here, like they have an open ender, 2 backdoor flush draws, or just higher over pair with 2 backdoor flush draw. I mean, with the flush draw and the backdoor flush draw. Also with the nut flush draw and pair blocker, makes sense a lot. Also with the gutter. Yeah, these are like the premium versions of the over pairs. So this one, I believe, is pretty clear check call. Actually, we have a gotcha as well, but I still think it's just a call. Yep, we all right. And let me just restart the poll. Yeah, no nutty. Absolutely agree. Oh, I see. What's the mistake? Give me a second. It's full start. There we go. Yeah. So next hand, we're gonna have a non-nutted open ender, but we do gonna have nut flush draw here. And let's see, we're gonna have straight draw with the flush draw. Wait. I think give me a second. Let me check. We shouldn't never check. Like, it's not possible to check here. I think I need to rename the. Yeah, that was a call option. I was so used to. Let me just rerun that quickly. Actually, that was a fault, not a call. I was so used to that to be training as pre-flop aggressor, as a c-better. Like, that's why I automatically entered the. I'm gonna close this one and I'm gonna rerun the chart so it will show proper buckets with proper ranges or proper actions, I mean. So there we go. Now we have a fold everything is the same, just change the check for fold. Let's see. So we have in here a straight draw with a flush draw, which is most likely to call. But then again, let's take a look at what kind of hands do we want to raise. I think we would be raising more nutted, like Jack 10 plus combinations on top of nut flush draw, but let's dive deeper. Yeah, you can see like nutted wraps with high ace or king flush draw. Even a hand like nut gutshot with the nut flush draw is a check raise here. I think 10-7 with the nut flush draw is also a check raise. I honestly think this one, I don't know, it's pretty close to me. I think I would call in game. Oh, it's a raise, guys. Well done. Who answered raise? It's a pretty clear raise. What is the low? Is that like okay, not a big deal. Let's take next one. Yeah, that makes a good point that we do have fold equity of obviously versus our check raise, and we don't have any showdown value here. That makes sense to check raise, and we have a ton of nutted runouts, so why not? All right, let's take the next one. What do we have here? Only nut flush draw blocker with some overpairs, overcards. So flush draw blocker. I think I should remove this category. Let's actually, that's interesting. Like, we shouldn't be training as we just fold 100% of the time. So let me just remove this from our training hands, and we're gonna restart this session. So I'm gonna close this one, refresh hands, and start once again. I'm not sure about being deeper, like the deeper the more we raise. I'm not sure about that one, and I don't have a sim to check. I think it's actually the vice versa, because being like when we are deeper, the SPR will be higher, and even by check raising, we will not be able to, like to make it as low as we want it to be. So we have to become more selective, playing deeper out of position. So all right, let's go with this hand. So we have, wait, but that's, oh, that's top pair. At the moment I train myself for 100 big blinds, yes. I think we can do some deeper stacked sessions late, but not today. Top pair, overcards, future nut flush blocker. Let's see how top pair is played. Top pair is pretty mixed. We even have a check raise. Could that be a check raise? We also have immediate blockers to opponent's continuing range, and also future not flush draw blocker. Which ones do we want to raise? Yeah, you can see pretty similar hand like the one we have here. Alright, that's pretty mergy. I guess it's like check raise fold, I believe. Let me see a hand like Jack 10-9-7. Jack 10-9-7 is gonna be check raise, but do Jack 10-9-7 with 3 diamonds. But if we face, oh, it's a merge stack of here. Wow. Yeah, a little bit too much going on here to be turning that much equity into a bluff. So I think in game I would go for the check raise here. What do you think? You wanna call? I think we check raise 9, 10, 10, queen. Makes sense. Call. I know I don't like really calling. I'm gonna go for the check raise fold option here, but I might be wrong. We'll see. It is a check raise. In fact, we never call with this one. You can bluff diamonds. I think we can bluff, like we can barrel a lot of turns. We can barrel all the straights, like all the 7, 6, 7, jack, diamonds. Plenty of turns we can barrel. Alright, let's move further. So what we have here, a wrap, middle pair, a wrap, backdoor flush draw, and some kind of flush draw blocker. So it's middle pair. I forgot to include wraps in here. I'm not sure if straight draws include wraps. So we'll see. I know it puts it into middle pair category, but I would actually like this one is more a straight draw than a middle pair. I'm not sure which category I should look into. If it's a middle pair, then it's pretty heavy mix between folding and calling. Possible raise? No, I don't think raising is necessary here, since we have decent amount of good runouts, and we don't want to get jammed on us. I think it's a. I didn't check. Wait, why? This says check. We should have fold option here. What's going on here? Give me a minute. So I'm gonna remove sets and I'm gonna remove blocker, flash draw blocker. Start training. Now we have a faulty, yeah. Now we're talking. Sorry guys, yeah, we're gonna start with a new hand. I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of those similar hands, so we're gonna look into them I can check. That was Jack 10-8-7. That had like that was diamond, but not diamond draw. And it also had spades, right? But there was a check raise. Wow. But if we get jammed, do we stack off then? Yeah, wow, it's a check raise stack off. I think it's honestly speaking, versus general population, I think it's a little bit light. Like people, their stack of range, like their jamming range, is gonna be way stronger than solvers. Yeah, well done. All right, let's get back to the hand. Now we have a different one, also an interesting one. So here we have, what do we have? Straight draw blockers, I mean future straight blockers and future nut flush blocker. You wanna go for a raise? We also have a nut gutter here, so I can see us raising here as well. I don't think calling accomplishes too much. I would rather turn this hand into a bluff and go for the check raise fold option, since we can still barrel a ton of turns. But yeah, by check calling, it's gonna be like way too hard to play it out of position. So I'm gonna go for raise option here. Yep. Who was on my side? Well done. So yeah, raising is the play here, and let's see what category was it. Overpair with the straight draw. We wanna take a look what kind of overpairs with the straight draw also check raises. 10-10-8-6, so that would be okay. So I see a lot of 10-10 combinations here with some kind of gut shot and backdoor backdoor flush draw, and also without it. Not open-ender with 10-10, so 10-10 are pretty relevant here. Maybe could even make a separate bucket with 10-10. All right. Next one, top two with the flush draw. Top two. So we have two pairs and the flush draw. So it's gonna be here. So we never fold, as you can see. That's just ridiculous. We actually do a lot of raising here, but let's see which ones do we check first. I mean, do we just flat call? Obviously, top and bottom. Top two with 3 diamonds. Top two with weak diamond. Two pairs with bad playability, but some backup. I don't know. I think that might be strong enough to raise in Solver's world. Oh, you all want to raise here, right? I think it's probably good enough to raise here. I think I would go for the check raise here. Now it's a check call. I guess we're gonna need more nutted hands, more nutted flush draw here to be raising at least a king. Let's see the suits variations. If we can, probably not. Don't know for what reason, but we can check it here. If we had King Jack 9-8 with the King of Diamonds, that would be a mix, but still would prefer calling over raising. Okay. All right. I gotta go see it. TK Infinite, thank you for jumping and taking a few questions with us. Have a great day. So yeah, let's take. Yeah, we need a basically better flush draw. Yeah, Jack high flush draw is just a little bit too merged. Like we need a better one, basically. So here, what do you think about this one? I do have an opinion about it, but I wanna see yours first. So we have an overpair. We also block one of the board pairs, and we have a future nut flush blocker. I would go for the check for the call option, because we have enough showdown value here to be like trying to reach showdown. And while we actually also have an ace of spades, which blocks backdoor nut flush draw, and a pair blocker. I don't know, is it like normally that would be a call, I believe. So let's see, overpair. Yeah, mostly call. There is some raising. I think that might be a raise, especially like having like too many, we're stacking too many blockers here. Having board pair, having front door flush draw blocker, having backdoor nut flush draw blocker. But I would agree to call as well here. Yeah, I think so. Let me see. I think we shouldn't shouldn't be losing sleep about not raising this hand, but at least we considered it. But I think most of aces diamond, but have no flush draw. Yeah, you can see most of them are gonna be check called, but then the ones that also have a spade in it and also block board pair, like, yeah, basically too many blockers for our opponent continuing range to not check raise, but the general bucket plays as a check call, so it's not that big of a deal. So here we have a wrap, but no help. These are the most tricky spots for me in game. Straight draw with no help. We fold a ton here. Look, we fold almost 60%. Like, check raising. Okay, makes sense with the blocker here. I don't know, it's gonna be tricky. Crying call. I mean, I would certainly call in game. Yeah, at least one. But then there are so many tricky turnarounds. We should actually do a separate topic on playing like that kind of hands on different runouts. I think that would be interesting. So calling was right there. We all good. Ace King Queen 6. So pretty much nothing but this second nut flush draw and overcards. So this falls under flush draw. Makes sense. And flush draws 6. Yeah, it is somewhat a blocker. Flush draws pretty much check call. Yeah. 0.7 BB only, so if you play versus like very tight opponent, I think we can even let this one go. Next one. Ace 10 8 5 with basically no help. I'm not sure this one falls into middle pair. Yeah, but no help. I think we're pretty much just gonna fold it, to be honest. Like, what are we expecting here on the turn if we call? We don't have enough blockers to check raise this one, so I'm going for fold. Flood. I have the okay. Let me change because we've had the whole time we've had the check option instead of fold in the poll. Very clear fold. Makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, just don't take it. We're gonna fold it, and that is true. So we're gonna take another one. Ace Queen 6-5. I don't see us doing here anything else rather than just folding. I think it makes a lot of sense as we do with this hand. I'm not sure whether this is that a straight draw? Wait, how can this be a straight draw? Future straight draw? I'm not sure which category this one falls into. I'm folding. Yeah, fold. I'm gonna change it once again and save it too so I can reuse it. You can filter in the bucket tool the hands EV and quit the more clear calls and folds. Yeah, we're gonna do that next session, I guess, because I'm only starting now. I'm just learning the software basically. But thank you for the tip. I'm gonna save it for later. Now we're gonna take all of them. Top two pairs, but extremely shitty playability on later streets. You're welcome. So the question is, like, if we check call, there's gonna be a healthy amount of turns and rivers that we gonna have just check fold our hand on. I think I don't know, it's so tricky. So two pairs without backup, mostly calling. I don't think we have good enough like side components to be check raising here. Wow, one is raising, one is folding. Really? Like, let's take a look at which ones we want to raise in this spot. So 10-10 makes a ton of sense, but are there, like, let's see, do we ever raise sevens? Oh, sorry, desktop. Yeah, do we ever raise sevens in this spot? And we do. In fact, there's a hand, exactly the one. I know that one has a spade in it. Then there's this one, which is 100% raise. So it actually is a strong blocker, as you said, Yeah, two pairs are too strong to fold. They're like, but we're not gonna stack off here, right? We're gonna raise, but then we're gonna fold to re-raise. Is that correct? 9 and 7. What do you think? That's not the one we have. 9, 8, 7, 7. We're gonna, in fact, most of them are raising, and we call the ones that have more playability, like flush draw and future and backdoor flush draw. Yeah, if we check raise here and get jammed, do we stack off here? I'm just waiting for you to answer so we can check it up. I think we're gonna fold it, honestly. I don't know. I just don't think we can ever be in a good shape versus stack off range with our bare two pairs and no any kind of help, basically. It's okay, anyone can answer. I see there are more guys in the chat now, so we're gonna take a look. I think we're gonna fold, to be honest. So we go ahead and raise and get jammed down, and we fold. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because like what is the worst hand that our opponent gonna go all in with on this board? I think it's gonna be like two pairs with the flush draw is the worst. Even as a hand as bad as two pair with the gutter, or open ender, which I doubt you're gonna see being like three betted here by most population, is doing better than our hand. I think it's pretty much the same. 8, 9, 10, 10 has the same logic. 8, 9, 10, 10. Oh, wow. With the backdoor flush draw, we're gonna call, and with two backdoor flush draws, we're gonna stack up. I mean, you got me. With the front door flush draw and the backdoor flush draw, we're gonna stack up. But this one's also have a flush draw blockers, so I guess that's why we're calling. Yeah, and even a hand like this one, look, it has two flush draw blockers, also wants to call, and also having future straight blockers. All right, let's get back to the quiz. So here we have an overpair with the gutter and the backdoor flush draw, and we can see overpairs with straight draws are mostly being checked out. Let me refresh the quiz. The poll more so. So overpair and straight draw. There's some fold in here. I think these are just like the worst overpairs with no help. I think it's pretty clear call, to be honest. Wow, it's a fold. I actually didn't expect that. I think it's a little bit too strong to be folding, or it was too strong in my eyes. I'm just looking at all the hands that I want to fold here. Like most of them makes a lot of sense, but I thought this one has like a little bit too much backup here to be folding, but apparently it's a big deal not having a diamond and playing out of position, so just gonna take next one. That's pretty easy. Yeah. So I think we had that same hand earlier, right? And that was, well, what was it? That was check raise stack off, right? No, I can't recall it. I think it was check raise, and we did stack off with this one, right? Or did we fold to a jam? No, we didn't fold. We stacked off. Yeah, it's a raise. I think we stack off Jack 10 8 7, having with a spade and also diamond, but no flush draw. Check raise, but then if we get jammed, yeah, we call. All right. Crying stack up. Don't cry. Just refresh the ball. There we go. Ace Jack 3-3. So pretty much not flush draw, and also blocking our own flush outs and the backdoor both outs. So what do flush draws do? Mostly just call. I don't know. You wanna call? I don't want to call with this one because yeah, I agree with Venus. I would rather go for check raise fold. Solver hates 3 cards. That's why that's why we wanna turn our hand into a bluff. Also having a jack here blocking straight draws, so we immediately have fold equity because we block his our opponent's continuing range. Having bad playability because of having a pair in our hand. I think I want to turn this one into a bluff and raise fold it. Anyone else having opinions here? You guys, you can chat. You can type in the chat if you want to vote. Just type if you want to fold. Type the full word. Fold for fold, call for call, and so on. Just gonna wait a few more seconds if anyone wants to make a suggestion here. Raise fold, I completely agree. Like that's what I would do in game, but let's see what Solver thinks about it. We do raise it here. Well done. No, it's all good. We raise and then we're gonna fold it, right? Ace, Jack 3-3, which has 3 diamonds. Check raise fold. You can see it. I think we laid it out pretty well. With 2 diamonds is a call. Might be an option. Ace Jack 3-3. Wait, 2. That has diamonds. diamonds, but no trip diamonds. Mostly call, but we mix in some check raises as well. But what would we do with 2 diamonds? We still, wow. Okay, that I would just call. I wouldn't want to fold the nut flush here. But I can see it because of having pair in our hand. That reduces playability a ton. And also it's gonna be tough to get paid being out of position when we're gonna hit our flush. It's like, how are you gonna get value? So take the next one, refresh poll. Ace, Jack 10, 5. So here we have a not open-ender, not flush draw blocker, and have no showdown value at all. What do you think, guys? Eno raise, Venus call. I completely agree with Eno, to be honest. We don't want to call. Well, actually, let me think about it. Not open-ender with a future. Actually, Venus has a point here. But we don't have showdown value. I would go for the raise. Like, comparing all the different possibilities, I prefer raising over calling. Yeah, we can. But I don't know. I'm gonna go with the raise fold option here. Yeah, I also prefer raising, since we can still force, like we're still gonna have fold equity versus his steps, and that's gonna help a ton. Plus, we can barrel a decent amount of turns, and on top of all that, we have nutted runouts, so I think raising is fine. Take another one. 9-8, I mean ace queen jack 3, which is pretty much bare gutshot and the future backdoor flush draw. I mean, if we want to fold the hand as strong as jack jack 7 with the backdoor flush draw, I think this one is also a fold, right? That wouldn't make sense to be calling this one and folding jacks. Yep. We good. Queen 5-3. Bare overpair with no help. Future backdoor flush draw blocker. Do you think that affects somehow? Fold. I agree. I'm just folding this one. So here we have top 2 with an open-ender and backdoor flush draw. That's a tricky one, I would say. Raise. Raising stack of, I don't like it. To be honest, I'm actually gonna call here. I think raising is a little bit overplaying this hand. Maybe I'm wrong. Crying stack of, yeah, we've seen some like very merged stack ofs. I really don't like raising with this one. I'm gonna take the responsibility and go for the against the crowd. I'm gonna go for a call. Wow, well done, guys. It is a raise. 10, 9, 8, 7. I think if we raise this one, then we have to stack off here. As you said, Crane stack off, right? Yeah, it is a call, and I mean, calling is pretty close to stacking off. We're gonna call, and then I believe if we had a sim, we would see that we're gonna fold on a diamond, I think. Or is it? Should take a separate lesson on that topic. Well done, guys. Well done. Yeah, there's just too many turns that we're gonna start guessing on, like with our hand. It is good now, but there are so many turns that's gonna kill our hand strength. Ace queen jack jack with no diamond. Yeah, I think, like, yeah. We saw even like far better jacks being folded, so this one is no exception. Yeah, like, not even a question. Ace king king 4. What about this one? This has slightly more showdown value, but is it good enough to check call? Eno is folding. Venus wants to call, and I would actually also fold. Just too bad playability. Like, there are no great turns for us that we can continue on. We're gonna end up calling a lot of flops and folding a lot of turns, so we're better off just fold it on the flop. Ace king 5-3. I think that's a pretty easy one, just clear fold. Let's gonna refresh it. Take this one. Jack high flush draw with no help. Really? Fold? I don't think I want to fold it, especially having 3 overpairs and a jack. I don't know, that's a tricky one. So flush draws mostly being called. Yeah, I think I want to call it here. Like 3 overcards also can turn jack into a bluff on some runouts. Also, jack high flush draw is kind of a little bit too good to be folded here. Wow, I wasn't expecting that one. So I want to see what is the threshold of like folding a flush draw here. I want to see all the folds. I mean, a hand like this one's, this is not the question. Like, that's pretty easy fold, but I thought jack high is a little bit different. Even a queen high with, wow, ace queen 4-3 with backdoor straight draw also folds. It's not good enough. That's interesting. Alright. Shadow Maniac, welcome to the channel, mate. Need a gutter with it? You mean to continue here, right? So where did we was it flush draws? You mean the ones that want to cover? So let's see. We need a backdoor flush draw at least. I mean, a hand like 7-7 4-4 wants to call because of its setups and maybe use 7 as a future blockers. 4-4-3-3. I mean, so if we put, how do I put a gutter here? That would be Jack 7, right? So Jack 7. Or 5-7. We don't have it. Wait. Let's start with the worst one. 5-7. Not in range. Jack 7 wasn't there as well. Queen 10. Not sure. Okay, here we have a we call a hand like ace-10 for deuce, but I guess because of the board pair. So what seems to be, wait, king queen 5-5. I mean, we saw a hand like ace queen, what was it, ace queen something something. Was a fault with the queen high flush draw. I think it's pretty close, and we shouldn't be like worried too much about it. So yeah, just gonna keep in mind that basically we need at least a board pair or more nutted flush draw, or more backup in form of like gut shot and backdoor flush draw, something like that. So let's move forward. Top pair with an open ender and no diamonds. But we do have a jack of spades, which also blocks some of the backdoor flush draws. Shadow Maniac is calling. What about the rest? Eno goes for call. Venus. What about you? I'd also go for a call here. And call is the right play here. Well done, guys. Let's take next one. That is a pretty decent hand at first glance. Middle pair, not gut shot. Front door flush draw, back door flush draw. Check raise. Check call. I don't know. It's so tricky. That's not a cutoff c-bet in range. That's a cutoff is the preflop raiser, but then cutoff checks and we face a button stab here. I would also actually call here. I don't know. I wouldn't be amazed if we check raise here. Seems to be a little bit too much going on here, not to be raising, but solver also like loves to check call those like merged non-nutted draws. We'll see in a minute. Yeah. Yeah, I always try to consider all options. Like, I try to think one step further. Like, would I be happy to face, like, if I raise, would I be happy to call off a jam, like, and switch the 8 and a 9? Where? Yes. Yeah, yeah. Good point. With the 9 there, that would be a slightly different deal. What about this spot? Eno wants to call top 2 with pretty marginal future playability, but also having some future blockers. Aren't we good to just turn it into check raise fold, like into our check raise bluff range? 50 BB it's a raise. We're 100 big blinds this time, so we would want to know the solution for the 100 big blinds. I don't know. I think it's close. I personally would go for the check raise, but I can see us calling too. With Jack, I would raise. But even like, let's try to think ahead. Like, there are so many turns. Like, how are we gonna be able to leverage our like queen of diamonds and queens as a straight blockers in general? I don't know. So you all gonna want to call here, right? I'm gonna stick to raise option, but I'm gonna hit call because there are more of you who wants to call, and the call is correct here. I think what is the thing that we're gonna bluff catch with this hand effectively because of the strong blockers on different runners. We're gonna keep this hand as a bluff catch, and that makes a lot of sense. Middle set with no backup, so sets are being check raise somewhat often, but also a portion of them wants to call. Actually, we do prefer calling over raising. Wow, that's interesting. I guess because of not having enough blockers, and turn will change. Like, too many turns are going to change the dynamic, or I mean the texture of the table, of the board. Seems to be the case. So we want to call with this one. Well done, Shadow Maniac. So here, mid pair, not open ender, backdoor flush draw. Completely agree. No reason to be doing anything else. This one is not so good anymore. You think it's good enough to check call? Or we just give it away? Or like, give it up, I mean. One fault. Any more faults? I'm with you on this one. What about this one? We do have a gut shot and a flush draw. me see, fold, another fold. That's the interesting way. As you can see here, straight draws and straight draw that has also flush draw folds only 1%, but maybe this one is the one in the 1% of folding hands, because I would also just fold this hand, to be honest. And it is a call. I think in a solver world it is a call, but versus, you see, it's pretty marginal call, only 0.7. Let's see which ones we are folding then, if we're not folding this one, and how we can see it. We can see it from here. So basically, even worse gutters. Yeah, I think we can just continue folding this hand versus a population. I think it's pretty fine, not a big deal. Here again, now we have top set, but absolutely zero backup. And do we want to raise, or do we have another backdoor? Yeah, I gotcha. I guess you were talking about backdoor straight draw. We have seen sets calling here. Yes, that's the case. And we saw sets calling that have no help, like pretty much similar to this one. But I'm not sure if there was a top set in them. I think those were mid and bottom set. I think top set still wants to get it in here. It's possible call, I think. Call. Venus wants to raise. I don't know, I can see us playing both ways. Let's call it. It is a raise. So I think the logic here is that we can still stack up versus eights and deuces. Hey Infinito, welcome back. I think we can, that's the logic, that we still dominate heavily like eights and deuces, and that's why we want to raise. And we also unblock a lot of continuing range, which can easily pay our check raise off, despite not having enough backup here. But with top set, you know, after raising, that's gonna be like, I'm gonna get called. SPR is gonna be 2. Well, it's still relevant. Overpair with the gutter, but no real help besides that. Call. What about the rest? Yeah, like in game I would call, but I can see if solver, like, I will not be surprised if solver wants to fold it. So yeah, I think it's just too relevant here. And we also have like the showdown value that we have is like one of the strongest ones. And the Gather also helps. Top 2 with the not flush draw, I think it's a pretty clear one, so yeah, let's just take the next one. And I think that's even more clear than the previous one. Okay, maybe I rushed a little bit, but it seems it's a mix between call and checking. I think having a jack specifically makes us want to call, but overall, if we take a look at the ace of diamonds that also has nines, we check raise mostly, but here I think this one specifically wants to check call because of us also blocking straight draws. But overall, the top set with the flush draw bucket just plays as a check raise, so it's not a big deal here. Let me refresh the poll. Here we go. Mid pair, over pair, gut shot. I like your option, Shadow Maniac. I'm with you on this one. I would check raise fold this one. Yeah, always take a look at all cards like Infinito. Gut shot also helps here. Raise fold, raise fold. Yeah, I agree with you. Marginal, but still a raise. Too many blockers to our opponent continuing ranges not to be raising here. Top pair, I believe top pair would still be a check raise fold. Let's say we had Queen Jack Jack 9, Queen Jack Jack 9, and you can that doesn't have diamonds. It's still gonna be raised most of the times. In this sim we check raise to 75%, so we don't check raise for pot. Yeah, it's the same because of having too many good blockers and too bad playability on the later streets. And that's a pattern that we've seen a lot today, that when we have that pair blocker plus flush blocker plus straight blockers, that's a good, like, especially having tens were especially a big thing here, and jacks as well. Like they all go for check raise fold. Even a hand we saw earlier, what was it? Not flush draw with the 3 diamonds, but low playability because of a low pair in it, like ace jack jack 3 with 3 diamonds. Was a hand that we turned into a check raise bluff. And that was interesting one to my mind. So here we have a wrap and the flush draw and the backdoor flush draw blocker. We're certainly not folding. The question is it strong enough to check raise? Or we just want to call and then bluff catch, maybe? But we don't have a showdown value. I don't know. I see us having a lot of equity here, but the equity that we have is non-nutted. And whenever solver plays a lot of non-nutted equity, he mostly wants to go for the check call option. So I would. You all want to raise here? Raise, check raise stack off? Really? I think yes, raise. I'm actually gonna go against the crowd in this one, and I'm gonna call. I might be wrong, might not. We'll see in a minute. Any more suggestions coming here? Venus, are you still with us? Wow, it is a race. I thought it's a little bit too marginal to be real. I guess we do stack off. Like, it's not a question. If we go for the check raise here, then we're definitely gonna stack off. Yeah, I mean call. That's also interesting to see. I'm actually gonna take a screenshot, and I think we should take another session the other day looking into turn transitions, because we've seen a lot of call in here. Like, if we check raise and get jammed, we call it off, but then what do we do on certain turns? Yeah, seems to be something like that, infinito. All right, let's take another one. Yeah, I was just about to say that we saw similar hands being in our folding range, having absolutely worse gut shot and low flush draw and no other backup. Yep, I agree with Shadowmanic. And it is a check fold. King Jack 3-3. King Jack 3-3, so pretty much absolutely nothing besides backdoor flush draw and the backdoor boat outs. Seems to be pretty easy. Yep. Gonna refresh Paul, and now we have what? Just a bare top pair. And what are we gonna do? Fold. Shadowmanic, how is that you are one of the first, like almost always the first one to answer, and also the one with the highest efficiency rate, like the most correct answers? Fold. Yeah, I also folded. Another one. Shadowmanic sleeps with some. Alright, mid set with the gutter. Infinito is shocked. I'd say so. It is possible. So sets. I think Gutshot is good enough backup here to go for the check raise. Yeah, we saw. But I don't want to like take a look, like spoiler it and then go for the right. I want to suggest the answer first and then maybe take a look. You think call, and the other guys wants to check raise. I think Gutshot is actually good enough here to be like to enable us to go for the check raise. Well done, Eno, well done. It is not good enough, so now we're gonna dive deeper into it. So sets are here. What do we need? Like if we have like nines, wait, sorry, I keep forgetting, I shouldn't press those numpads. So if we have top set, it's not a big deal here, right? We're gonna raise like pretty much all the top sets, not a big deal. But it really changes if we have eights or deuces, so middle and bottom set. And now we can see that we're gonna call 85% and raise only 16. That's a pretty drastic change. If we have 8-8 Jack Queen, 8-8 Jack Queen, any suit preparations? We're gonna check raise 8-8. I guess you wanted to see with the nut gather, right? So, and now I'm interested in seeing which ones of the middle and bottom sets are willing to go for the check raise. So what do we need in order to check raise? We would need a top pair blocker, seems. Hmm, 10-10? 8-8, 10-10. Oh, I guess also because of the presence of the backdoor flush draw. Sometimes even both the top pair blocker and the backdoor flush draw. It's 9. It's actually enough just to have a top pair blocker. And I think deuces want to go for the check raise even more rarely. So if let's look separately at 8s, 77 and deuces. Pretty much all of the bottom set combinations gonna play as a check call. All right. Again, valuable info here. So this one is a check call. Well done. Who was it? Eno. I guess that was you. Congrats on this one. Take yourself a cookie. So top pair and the wrap, no flush draw. No flush draw blocker, no backdoor flush draw, no anything. I think it's actually a pretty clear call. Yeah, I'm not gonna wait too long. Just yep. With backdoor raise, we'll see. What was it? 9 plus, right? 9-10 Jack Queen. 9-10 Jack Queen. And you wanted to have what? Backdoor spades? It's a mix. With the front door and the back door, it is raise 100%. And the rest is mixing. Let's see, raise one diamond check. I mean 9-10 Jack Queen with diamond. I think that would make sense, like that we could remember the pattern. Nut wrap, top pair plus nut wrap with the back door's flush draw, and the front door flush draw blocker is a check raise. I think that is the pattern that we can really memorize. But the rest we're mixing. So here I think this one is, let me refresh the poll. This one should be pretty clear raise, as we've seen top set being check raised here 100% or close to that one. Yeah, it's not a big question. What about this one? That's an interesting one. Jack 5-5. So straight draw blockers, some kind of flush draw. Shadow Maniac wants to call. Raise fault? I don't think so. Infinito wants to fold it right away. I know, I think, no, I don't know. We cannot fold this one. Check raise, I think, would be overplaying with this hand. No, I'd actually go for the check call. I agree with Shadow Maniac here. And that seems to be the right play. Well done, us. So here we have top pair with an open ender and the flush draw blocker. Shadow Maniac, you gotta be crushing in the stakes you play. I hope so, at least. One raise, one call, two raises versus one call. Yeah, I can see that from your answers that you at least should be crushing. So no more incoming results. I'm gonna go for a raise as well. Well done, raisers. Overpair, top pair, not flush draw. Somewhat of a straight blocker. That was another point. That the one we had in the previous hand, we were check raise folding. With the other one we were talking about, we were check raise calling. I don't think we do, but I can take a look. I think merged wraps we just check call, and stronger wraps we just check raise, get it in, or call. I don't think there are wraps that we want to turn into a bluff. Let's put it this way. I'm gonna take a look after this hand. So raise. I'm actually gonna raise this one as well. It is a raise. So what do you want to see? A wrap, right? Which is 7 Jack 10, I guess, is the worst. And What was the question? Do we ever check raise fold a wrap? So we're gonna go for the check raise and we're gonna get jammed. Pretty much never. Like, you can disregard this few combinations because basically those are non-existent in our range. Only 4 hands is just, yeah, as we said, we either call more merged ones or get it in with the more nutted ones. Just lost my house on those combinations. All right, let's take next one. There are 8 hands left. So this time we have not flush draw, but pretty much nothing else besides backdoor straight draw. Call, call. I would mostly agree. I think calling is the play here. We don't have good side cards to be check raising, and we have a lot of nutted runouts here. Just a bare overpair. Can we fold aces here? Stabbing is 50% right. That's correct. Most of you want to fold, and me as well. No, we don't fold, but it's a pretty marginal call, as you can see. Like, of course not infinito. General population doesn't stab as often as solver, but when you know like the GTO ranges, then it is easier for you to spot a leak in our opponent's play. So in real world, it's I think pretty easy fold. Like, even here you can see it's extremely marginal, and considering that population does not play like nearly as close as solver, we can just justify folding all overpairs with having absolutely zero backup. So what about this one? Jack high flush draw and backdoor full house outs. Fold, fold. I think if I remember correctly, then the presence of the pair in our hand changes a little bit, and we want to call with those ones, with the ones that have pair in our hand, but then we fold the rest ones. Anyone else? No? 2 folds? So this hand in the solver. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I think this one might be a call, but the general tendency is to fold here. Now this one is also fold. So even the pair in our hand doesn't change anything. Top 2 with a gutter, not gutter, and also having a diamond blocker in our hand. Raise. You're raising to get it in? I suppose. Sadly, yes. That's very well said. Sadly, yes. I hate those posts. Like I can see Solver check raising, going all in or calling, but yes, I agree. But considering I wouldn't go crazy in real world with this one, but that's probably is one. No, it is a call. Wait, now I'm so this one has too much value to be like, let me put it somehow in words. Backdoor is a raise. I think this one is a little bit too weak. Like having, like it would with. Let's put it this way: we're never gonna do great versus a stack of range, right? So even a pair like a hand like a top pair with flush draw and sidecards will have a ton of equity versus us, and that's pretty much the weakest hand that is willing to stack off. I'm not sure for what reason I cannot open the suit variations. I don't know why. You can see it. It just doesn't pop up anywhere. I don't see, maybe somewhere here. No, I can't find it. It kind of shows it here, as you can see. Yeah, here the bottom right, but the window just wouldn't pop up for some reason. I don't know why. I can put it here. Queen, Jackman 8. That's weird. Yes, I agree with you, but I don't have the answer for this one at the moment. So let's see, what do we need in order to stack off here, like to check raise. I mean, what is where is that threshold? Field to 1 diamond with the diamond, but I mean with the diamond, but no flush draw. Backdoor, always the backdoor comes into play. Yeah, here, because these ones are mix or like rare occasions, like 2.3%. It's I think it would even converge to a call over time, but we should look into more into those 100% categories. So backdoor flush draw is like the minimum. Check Queen of Diamond, it check raises without backdoor. Well, Jack Queen of Diamonds have more value itself than rather than having a backdoor, isn't it? Or you mean one of those cards? All right, all right. How can I filter this one? You mean these ones? You know, you're talking about these categories here? As I said, they're pretty mixed. You can see here the percentage of raising, and we should mostly look into 100 and close to that numbers, because the small ones, I believe it's just this would converge into 100% call over time if the sim would run longer. So we should mostly look into these ones. All right. So I think what is the thing here is we want to see safe turn in order for equity to be shifted more in our side, and then we're gonna either bet ourselves or go for the check raise. But yeah, versus a stack of range, like why I was asking Shadow Maniac, was he going for the check raise stacking off? Because I thought, like, what would be my equity with this hand versus my opponent's stack of range? And when I consider, or when I can assume that my opponent will stack off, like the weakest hand in my opponent's stack of range will be top pair with overcards and a flush draw, and that would be the weakest one, and I'm not doing great at all even versus his weakest hand, and his strongest hands are just crushing me. So I don't want to get it in under those circumstances. That's what was my idea. But when we check call and face a kind of safe turn, then we can easily, of course, stack off already on the turn because the equity has already been shifted. That would be my point. Here again, top pair, backdoor not flush draw. Check call, check fold. I don't know. I'd go for the check call in game. Two folds, one call. I'm also on the calling side here, but it is a fold. How do I see? So top pair, right? That is calling. What do we need to be calling here? Obviously gutter or better is always fine. That's also a gutter and a flush draw, or just a gutter. If we don't have flush draw, open enders, gut shots. I know, do we see a gut shot? Yeah, no. Yeah, 9 plus gut shot and overcards. So at least a gut shot or somewhat relevant. But yeah, queen and a 4 don't do well together, like don't add up to our equity. Middle pair, open ender, flush draw blocker, backdoor flush draw. What are we gonna do? Call, call. I would agree. Pretty marginal call though. Raise. Yeah. We turn it into a bluff and go for check raise fold here. 10. This is hand of crying stack off. I refuse to believe in it. I just refuse to believe in it. 10 8 7 6 with the spade, but not I mean with the diamond, but no flush draw, and with spades we check raise, but we're just gonna call. I don't know, the whole play seems marginal at best. But yeah, it is a mix, so I mean, and in fact, well, here I have filtered for exact the ones that we can have here, like with the diamond but no diamond draw. And with this category we mostly prefer calling over raising, but and if we take that away, you can see that with the whole bucket, like disregarding the suits, we want to mostly call. 82% calling. 9, it's more likely to raise with 9, I would say so. Which I think you want me to switch 6 for 9. Yeah, you can see it's so from having 82 versus 18, we switched to only 7% calling, and yeah, 9 is a magic card to basically check raise all of those combinations. All right, let's take a few last ones. I think we should just skip this one, or anyone wants to call or raise with this one? Yeah. Oh, I just skipped the last hand. Give me a second. Oh no, that was the last one actually. That was the last one. We did well. We 70% right. So that was it for today. I find this board really, and this spot in general, being interesting. I really like those learning more about check raise combinations and variations. Thank you guys for learning with me. Probably gonna see you tomorrow when I'm gonna do another study session on a different topic. So that's gonna be it for now, and we're gonna meet later. Take care, guys. Thanks for sticking around. Have a great day, and I'm gonna see you somewhere someday. Take care. Bye.